Alrighty, it is 6:43. We're reconvening for meeting number 2. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Mr. Adams. Kidding. Roll call, Ms. Edler.
Present.
Ms. Fordyce. Present. Ms. Schaefer.
Present.
Ms. Warnke. Present. And Mr. Hess.
I am present.
Absentee voting. Very good. All right, on to number 4, approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
You're fast.
Edler.
Aye.
Fordyce.
Aye.
Schaefer.
Aye.
Warnke.
Aye.
Hess.
Aye.
Very good. Deb, are you caught up?
I am.
Okay. On to number 5, resolution 2025-26, a resolution approving a community betterment grant agreement with Polk County, Iowa, and authorizing the city administrator, Ms. P. Wilson, to execute said agreement.
Yes, so I sent an email to you all. Jill Altringer's office has notified us that the Board of Supervisors are proposing to award us $7,900 to purchase the solar speed radar sign that we were looking to get for 126 Ave. So they are asking us to approve this agreement. Tom, our attorney, did review it. He doesn't have any concerns, but he did recommend you guys approve it before I sign it. So.
And declare, is it 7,900 or 73 and some change? Did I miss here?
Oh, yes, sorry. $7,309.23.
I just want to make sure I hadn't missed something and it was an additional little bit on top of the 73 change. So.
Thank you for pursuing that. That will be
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah, it's, those signs were more expensive than I think we thought they would be.
Yeah,
And then,
I see.
so
No,
hopefully that improves.
I know Jill had reached out to me a couple of times as far as us, trying to get some type of grant and everything, and I said, well, it's one of those, okay, what's the cost, and do we have anything else in the budget we can, if we don't get the full, and then I know Parks had been trying to do something but didn't have something, and then this was been a discussion for us for a long time, and at one point I was driving in circles hauling corn, and Jill called me and I said, talk to me, forward everything to Katie and get her in the loop as well, because ultimately she's gonna be the one to get this all put together and serve us and everything, so not taking anything away from you, thank you for pursuing and doing everything, so.
Yeah, I was very excited. They've been very great to work with and generous to us since I've started here, so Jill's been great to work with.
She's been a great addition as far as I don't want to call her a liaison, but as a representative and everything, so.
Yeah.
No, she's been awesome.
I move adopting resolution 2026-25, resolution approving community betterment grant agreement with Polk County, Iowa, and authorizing the city administrator to execute said agreement.
Second?
Very good. Edler.
Aye.
Fordyce.
Aye.
Schaefer.
Aye.
Warnke.
Aye.
Yes. I baited you for it. Number 6, resolution 2026-26, a resolution setting a public hearing for the proposed fiscal year 2027 budget for April 20th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m.
So this is the public hearing to certify our budget for fiscal year 27. So we will hold a hearing somewhere tonight, and then you'll be asked to approve the budget after that hearing is held. So it will be on April 20th. The budget is due by April 30th, and then we are required to publish it in the paper between 4 and 20 days before that hearing. So once I get it all inputted into the Department of Management, I will send you guys those forms to look at too.
Very good. Questions, comments, discussion, if not, take it away.
Motion to approve resolution 2026-26, a resolution setting a public hearing for the proposed fiscal year 2027 budget for April 20th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m.
Second.
Edler.
Aye.
Fordyce.
Aye.
Schaefer.
Aye.
Warnke.
Aye.
Aye.
Number 7. Number 7, resolution 2026-27. I like these are in number order with the, anyway. 2026-27, a resolution setting a public hearing for budget amendment number 1 for fiscal year 2026 for April 20th, 26 at 6:35 p.m. A lot of
So-
sixes and numbers going on in there.
Yes, this is in regard to our current year fiscal year 26 budget. And so Deb brought it up to me that we should look at amending our budget in April before we need to spend over it. And we're looking at general government and then potentially water and sewer, amending those.
More details to follow, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so I will fill out, there's a form with the state that I'll fill out and I'll send it to you guys before too.
Was part of this to get to that 110 that we had talked about on the water fund then that night with PFM, Deb? Or what was this in regards to?
I think it's just because we've spent more than we have budgeted.
In those specific areas?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's very common for cities to get to this point in the year and have to amend, but we're supposed to amend before we overspend.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay.
So we're tracking in a few areas, is what you're saying. Okay, got it.
Nothing else? Motion seconds, improvements?
Yeah, I don't have my computer on, I don't wanna take up more space and anything. I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2026-27, a resolution setting a public hearing for budget amendment number 1 for fiscal year 2026 for April 20th, 2026 at 6:35 PM.
Second.
Andrew,
Right.
Royce,
Alright,
Schaefer.
Aye.
Warnke,
Aye.
yes.
Aye.
8 fiscal year 27 budget discussion.
Yes, so I sent out the budget to you all again. And I just wanted to, I know we've gone through the general fund, but I wanted to go through the enterprise funds a little bit. So if you flip to the page that starts with road use tax expenses, I'll just highlight some few items and then if you have any questions, we can go through them. So our road use expenses are funded through road use tax revenue we receive from the state, and it's based on our per capita with a formula. And so some of the major items that we budget for under road use tax expenses include our payment to Polk County each year for maintenance on 126th Ave. So that agreement, I believe, started in 2023. And so that is one of the bigger expenses in that category. And then we are also budgeting $50,000 for street maintenance. That is our street improvements that we do annually. Usually, I think last year we did patching in areas of town.
I think the county one's 46 too. All
Yes,
four
you're
directions.
correct. Yep,
All
thank
four
you.
directions.
Yes, thank you.
Is that payment to agency, this county, is that?
Yes. Yeah, it's a little hard to forecast. One year we had, our invoice was about 17,000. And then another year I've seen one for 25,000. It just depends on the weather.
I'm gonna add a little bunch into there. We don't pay for everything that they do. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay,
Just give you a little
Yeah,
heads up.
yeah. That's good to
Sometimes
know.
that stuff forgets to get marked down to the drivers.
Yep.
And you can delete that out there, so I don't wanna get any drivers in trouble, but same way with a lot of the mowing.
Katie, I have a question on the budget pertaining to the road use tax expenses or expenses by. I had seen on the budget, we had talked before about the snow box for.
Yeah.
And we talked about potentially taking that out.
Oh,
Was
okay.
the consensus to keep that in there? So I thought we could use that to fund something else. We had talked about it before, but I don't think we came to a conclusion. We talked about
Yeah,
maybe pulling
yeah.
that out. So, I mean, what's everybody's thoughts about keeping that in versus pulling that out? Also, I wanted to ask, did we budget anything for like salt for the snow? Cause I know this last year, I don't think this year was such as big a deal, but last year was really bad. People are like sliding through the intersections. So I just want to pull those out and just ask.
Yeah, so that would be under snow chemicals, the 2,000. It was, I put 2,000 in there. I think it was pretty on track with what we've spent this year so far.
Okay. Okay.
But we can certainly talk about the snow box. I mean, Ron, I don't think he
I know it's
was.
beneficial, and I know we could use it,
Where's
but
that at?
Yeah, I'm not.
I think that was in the
It's
general,
it's in our-
the snow.
it's in our,
What
just in the
page?
budget, the second page. Right
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
We just briefly talked about pulling it out and using that money for something else. That's, I just wanna touch on that. Whatever it's thought.
Yes.
My apologies, I thought it was under here somewhere.
Yep,
Thank
it's
you.
in the general fund under snow removal.
That may have been the wrong place to talk about it, but I wasn't sure because we were talking about snow removal done there, so.
Yeah, I mean, Ron, he requested that, but he wasn't very, we've got to have this right now, so that's something I can talk to him about and just say, hey, we're gonna put this off a year, cause,
If we did pull that out, what else could we use that 10,000 to go to? Like, is there something else that is more beneficial to put that money to?
right now it's under capital outlay, so it wouldn't really be saving us. I mean, it would bring it would bring our full general budget down by 10,000.
What does the little indicator you have to off to the side, like snow box is an example of it, that little black dot?
Yeah, that's a note that I have on my Excel,
Oh, okay, okay.
so I have notes on some of them.
Alright, cause I was looking for a list, I'm like, what the hell?
So what she's saying is removing that doesn't necessarily add $10,000 somewhere else, it would just reduce that amount by $10,000
Yeah.
potentially. And even if we budgeted for the $10,000, we wouldn't necessarily have to spend the $10,000 if they decide later they don't want it, or we decide later we don't. We don't.
I'd just like to save what we can.
Yeah.
That's my only thought.
I have a follow-up on a question I brought up a meeting or two ago about the city administrator wages that are portioned out of the use taxes. I'm still uncomfortable with that. From what I've read from the regulation, while it says that you can pay some supervisory funds out of that. In reading your core job description and the notes that you provided to council over the last 10 months or so that I've gone back, I don't see anything that substantiates that you're spending 20% of your time on roads.
So I did check with an experienced city manager in the
Okay.
metro, and she said it's very common for city managers, city administrator salaries to be paid a portion out of there.
Okay, could we ask Tom Anderson that
Yeah,
question?
I can ask
So,
him.
because, like I said, that's gonna hang me up.
Okay. I can ask
Yeah.
him if council would like me to get a legal opinion.
I-
He
I
might have
will-
to do some research because that would be,
Yeah.
more of a financial dive, but for him, but yeah.
Because like I said, my reading of the statute doesn't jive with that, so that's my concern.
Council, what are your thoughts on we make a special request?
I know we had talked about this before, this came up the last time we talked about the budget with the wages there. But I thought you were gonna check into like, maybe there was a way to move around some more to reduce the wages there, did you do that, or?
No,
is this
I
the same
didn't,
Okay.
because we're kind of tight everywhere.
I know. I tried
So,
a conversation.
because we're
so-
at the thresholds for water, sewer, stormwater.
Sure.
I mean, the only
Okay.
other option.
Still box.
Is
I know,
general-
that's why I'm saying
general
snow box,
is
but-
Getting to the point where I don't know where to pull it from, so,
Okay.
no.
Without raising the water rates and
Right,
sewer rates. and all
right,
that
okay.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
What does it cost to ask Tom's opinion on something like that? Cause I know we would get billed for that, I assume, for
I
reaching out to
mean,
him.
what is his rate? $2.25 an hour,
Roughly.
so
Probably
probably a couple
hours.
hours. Or I can ask our CPA firm.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to
Yeah,
ask.
do that.
Never hurts to ask and see what you can find out. I know you asked, you mentioned you'd asked a different city administrator, but.
They're only $2.24 an hour, right? I'm kidding.
I will ask,
Well, different cities have different
Oh,
circumstances.
100%, that's what I
Right.
said. I know you'd ask one, but it doesn't hurt to ask. I mean, if you've got the ability to ask, you might as well.
yeah, I will ask Grunwald and see if Dustin has any concerns with it.
Because I just honestly wanna squeeze every dollar of road use money that we can. Sure. And just surface elements,
What do you mean by surface evidence?
asphalt, concrete.
I can tell you one thing, 20 grand's not gonna buy you very much asphalt.
So buy more than that.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, I just set the expectation that it's not as much as you probably think it's gonna be.
Oh, well, no, but I mean, I'm just looking at, we've got a lot of things in here that are to me, are taking away from that.
No, I get it, I want to make sure that there's expectation that you're gonna get a full street-wide patch that's,
Well, no, I mean,
30
we
feet long.
do small patches at a time, or small sections as it is, so if we could just increase those another block, maybe.
like a whole patch for a whole block, is that what you're saying?
I don't know, I mean, what other additional surfacing, like we did Maple the other, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And it was really,
Let me ask this question before we go down this rabbit hole. Roughly, let's call it $20,000, roughly how much asphalt would that get us?
Cover the grant, cover the one you did on grant, the one you're gonna have to do on 126.
I guess there's too many variables if you can answer, like,
Yeah.
thickness of asphalt, the size, the condition, if you have to repair this upgrade, there's. The roads that you have to patch are fairly in bad condition, so it'd be a lot of money.
Also your price of asphalt, with oil prices up, asphalt goes up.
Yeah, oil's up,
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, we can sidebar that on a
Yeah,
different day.
so,
Yeah, I didn't want us to keep going
Yeah,
back
okay,
and forth
so-
there and.
but ultimately, like I said, I'm concerned about, are we meeting the intent of the statute that says road use tax money is supposed to be used specifically for road use? And I think it's a bit of a stretch to pay 20% for salary.
I can check with him and let you know.
What was do you know, last year, the 26 budget roughly, because I don't have it in front of me, what percentage of that administrator wages came out of road
It
use
was
tax?
20%.
Was that flagged at all during our financial exams by Grunwald as an issue, or that we weren't meeting a statute or anything? Okay. I gotcha.
I would
was
think he would
curious.
say something to me, but I will check
Yeah,
and
just
just
ask him.
have him look at it.
They always get back to us super
Yeah.
quick, so it's always worth checking.
All right, thank you.
So, yeah, moving on, we have our TIF expenses for several of our debt obligations for the year.
Which page are you on?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Just-
that's,
Same
yeah,
page at the
same
bottom.
page.
Thank you.
And then, looking at the water budget, so we use projections from PFM for revenue, and then she also looks at the expenses to make sure that we are setting aside enough surplus. And so some highlighted items to mention in the water budget. So several items, the operating expenses have increased, such as the electricity bill. Insurance on the building is going to increase quite a bit once we accept it. Chemicals, just some things that, I was trying to cut it as much as I could, and there's just some things that I'm looking at are expenses to date, and you can't cut it all. So, worked with Carrie on that, to get us to the point where she was comfortable. Looking at the professional services, so that is a portion of what we pay to Tom Thorpe for his affidavit operator services. Equipment below that, Ron mentioned that we have several water meters he will need to purchase next year. And then additionally, I budgeted more for chemicals because of the new plant. We are using quite a bit more than what we historically have needed. That is kind of an overview. I have 7,000 budgeted for the capital outlay just in regards to equipment at the water treatment plant. Hopefully we don't have an emergency, but that is what that's for. And then the line item for operational equipment repair, a portion of that, 14,258, is our annual fee to McGuire for water tower maintenance. So that's why that is pretty high. But then you also have to factor in like pipe repairs and anything else that could come up. And then moving on to sewer.
Did we go over the loss or the TIF funds expenses at all again?
Those are our debt payments.
Okay.
Basically, we have some rebate agreement payments in there too for TIF.
I was gonna ask, is that gas station rebate of $72,001 still? in there?
That's a good question. I will ask her.
Cause it hasn't been.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing to rebate, so.
Yeah, I will ask her on that. Thank you.
Well, the rebate doesn't go out until the collection takes place, which is, so if there's no collection taking place, there's no rebate that goes out, that's the good news. But yeah, see what she thinks on that. My guess is it's a projection, but
Yeah. Did you have any further questions?
No,
on
no, that one just caught me on it.
Okay.
speaking of which, did everybody see the email that
Yeah.
Katie sent? The update from Mo, from the gas station stuff?
I-
Katie sent
I
this
did
morning.
see that,
I
but
did not see it today. so.
I
When did you send that out?
Today.
I did
Yeah.
not. It's-
I did see that, but I was hoping for, I mean, it still seems like it's the same update you've been getting, that they're approved from the bank, but they're not starting, they're waiting for this, waiting for USDA, so I thought we had asked, like, would they have some kind of proof, like a letter of approval or something stating that? I don't know if we can do that legally, but I was just hoping for more. I know there's nothing I can do about that, but I was hoping for more. I was a
Yeah.
little disappointed that it's kind of same story it's been,
Mhm.
but that's.
No, I have asked, I think, a couple times if they have proof of
That's what I'm
anything, but-
concerned about, is that we're asking for proof and they're not providing us with anything. You'd think that if,
Well, I don't think he would lie. I mean,
No, I
in
don't
the
think he
email,
would
it says the
too,
bank has
but-
approved the
but it's like
financing.
when you buy a house, you have to have a.
But he's
approval
not
letter.
applying for credit for the city.
Right.
So he's not asking us to front end.
Right,
money,
that's
so-
why I don't know if we can do it, but I was just hoping that we
Yeah.
could have something more set in stone other than, you know.
Well,
same
I
story.
mean, do you guys want to talk about it at a
Should we
future
get
meeting?
back through the budget discussion and we
Yeah.
can talk about
Yeah.
this afterward?
Yes, yes.
Sewer.
Yeah, so sewer, we have our electricity bills is one of the larger items with the lagoons and, other than that, along with our insurance, that is pretty high on our ICAP bill as well. Tom Thorpe again, under professional services for his affidavit operator, and then we budgeted for meters as well and sewer for a portion of that cost. Capital outlay, we are budgeting $5,000. Nothing major, else to mention in this budget for sewer. And then moving on to stormwater. I did speak with Carrie this year and she was okay with us spending, moving some salaries to stormwater because we were looking for spreading them out a little differently. And so we are still under our threshold for the stormwater balance. So we have a surplus of $29,507. But mostly it's just employee wages and benefits that come out of that fund. And then we have our debt service expenses below. And then I was gonna ask you guys, so I budgeted the remaining amount that we have on our water treatment plant project that's outstanding, assuming that we accept it in fiscal year 27. But I did not budget for any other capital projects because we don't have a plan right now, but we can amend the budget in the future, once we have funding and a plan figured out. So that is what I have so far.
Do you know roughly how many years we have left on Main Street and the Blue Lagoon, the big one?
Do you happen to have the
Yeah, it's
amortization
on
schedule?
that chart. Yeah. When we went over like the first time, it was like, yeah, I don't have it off the top of my head, but I have to pull it back up.
So,
It's probably in the truck, the next seat.
I don't think there's very many years left on the main street.
Was that construction in 2018? 2019.
Main Street.
It started before I was on council. I think it finished at 21-ish, when they accepted it, 20-ish, 21-ish.
Maybe it was still kind of,
Oh, yeah.
moved in.
Yeah, I'll be right around, right before COVID.
Come on, mate, you know everything, when did it start?
Yeah, Mike, what are you doing?
Did anyone notice that on the edge of the road, while she's looking for that? As you get to the bricks towards the post office side of the street, south side of the street, there's starting to be a dip developed there as the bricks are sinking down.
I think Ron and Rick
Yeah.
addressed that with, Golden Mink. I was on that email. Were you? I don't know.
So,
But I haven't heard back. I don't think I've heard anything from them. I'll check on that.
It's
John, do you know when-
starting to get a little bit tricky, guys.
When they got trash at the baseball field.
Tony, don't look
I
that.
drove by and that just caught my eye tonight.
yeah, they did a cleanup over the weekend.
They did, okay,
Yeah, and I don't know if something like when they.
that's fine. I just,
came
it caught
out.
my eye and it's unusual, so I just was curious.
I have practiced.
Yeah, I suppose.
They did until the lightning canceled, according to my text.
I was gonna say, they were out there when I drove
They got there
by.
for about 15 minutes and then the lightning hit.
They don't want to have metal bassin handle with lady on it. That's weird.
That was his son's first practice, and I got sent home 20 minutes later.
Nice,
Tonight?
yeah.
The rain.
Is that, I mean, can we send that to you in an email maybe?
Yes.
so.
She's so
it looks-
close, I can
Looks
tell.
like
I know.
Main Street started in 2021 and it's done in 6/1/2040. Does that sound right?
40.
2041?
Yeah.
So 15 more years.
The lagoon's much sooner than that.
Okay.
And what was the original principal borrowed on the?
For this fiscal year,
No, I just have.
the full amount?
The full amount, yeah.
I don't. I might have a short.
We can,
Yeah, we don't need to log down.
I think all of those schedules are also in the onboarding packet, and then, I think I emailed it to the rest of you guys in a separate email too.
Because I'm thinking the Main Street one's the first one that's gonna come off the books.
I think the lagoon comes off.
That's to say, not
first.
according to that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2041,
Yeah,
that's
because that $20, once the lagoon falls off, that $20 payment we all pay every single month will go away.
Question about as far as, since Tony brought up about the pavers and everything, we did the cleaning last year. Somebody refresh my memory, are we doing that annually as needed,
I think it's every 3 years they suggested,
every three?
every
Okay.
3 or 5. I'd have to look at the plan that they provided to us, but it's not annually.
I know there's, I'll touch on it and we'll move on to something else, but there's becoming an abundance of buildup across down the western end of Main Street from a particular business that has volleyball courts. Once again, and that
Right.
needs,
Sandy down there?
that needs to be addressed.
367 Main.
Thank you, Mr. Adams.
It used to be yours.
So,
Yeah, ruined my rock, ruined the trailer sitting there.
so we'll need to get that addressed as well. I believe we had asked that they keep up on that.
Yeah,
And
he said he was gonna put a barrier, which he did put a temporary barrier last year.
very temporary,
But it,
yes.
Obviously was moved, so.
My apologies for sidebarring in that, but it goes along with budgets and cleaning and the Main Street,
Yeah.
the things, so.
Yeah, so I will, I'll do a full run through of this, and then if there's any tweaks, I will send a revised spreadsheet out to you guys. We're getting it published on, I believe, April 8th or 9th
Okay.
in the paper before our hearing. Or sending it to the paper on April 8th. But it will publish within the 4 and 20 timeframe before our hearing, so.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Council, anything further?
Thanks for your work on this.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Item number 9, adjournments, motion second, please.
Motion to adjourn.
I
Second. Second to Edler for the adjournment. Edler,
Aye.
Fordice, Schaefer,
Aye.
Warnke,
I
Hess.
Aye.
We are
We're
adjourned
really
at
gonna make this
7:13.
conversation, Travis.
want to challenge.